Hello, welcome back. And it does seem like an eternity since I was last here, but it's not that long. It's only a couple of days. And here we are, second in the league, 3 points behind United. There's 12 games to go. We are still in the Europa League, but we are in a very, very poor patch of form. That horrible 1-0 defeat away at Leeds, then 1-1 against Everton, and then 1-1 against Manchester United. Those two games, Leeds and Everton, I was expecting to win, expecting to lose against United. It's not working out as I predicted. Now we have Newcastle, Crystal Palace, and then a couple of games against Genk. Pedro, how are you? Long time no see. Nice to see you, my friend. Good to see you. And, well, then West Ham after that. It's kind of looking okay, but we have a horrible run in. Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool will be our last three games. We're not going to get anywhere near that for a couple of sessions, but we do need to move on. Liverpool are breathing down our neck as well in second place. And let's just move on to the next game. I can't remember. Yeah, I did do that. They are being rested. So essential that I rest them. I don't know whether we are going to do it. We are leaving it in the hands of the match engines. Good evening, Neil. Nice to see you. I hope you guys have enjoyed your weekend of Premier League football. I certainly have enjoyed some of it. Although my FPL has not gone particularly well. But I don't think I'm alone in saying that. Gosh, I had 7 really good attacking players who all blanked. And it's not been the greatest of starts. United also lost today, but I thought United played well. And I thought on a different day that might have been a different result. It was another goalkeeping error. Without that goalkeeping error, it would have been a tame 0-0 draw because chances were few and far between. I don't know. It was a funny old weekend, but we're still sitting here smiling. See how Leeds get on tomorrow. I do fancy that Leeds might produce a shock. Sunderland, of course, being the biggest shock. I mean, I do apologise to teams like West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Arsenal. Their poor results are all my fault. I accept and do apologise for it. If I had not put their players in my team, they would have played a lot better. So I got to apologise to those teams. Is he on? Yeah, he's already on the short list. And I've had pretty much, in terms of FPL, my standard start. I don't think I have ever in my life playing that game had a good game week 1. One of these years, I'm going to be surprised, I think. But it certainly wasn't going to be this year. Looking at this, I don't see why we don't go with that, to be honest. Except for the centre-back. My assistant does have this need to play Van Beek at centre-back. I prefer to play him as the DM, although hasn't been particularly great at DM, but we shall keep him there. He's got to get used to playing there because that's where he's going to play there. Mane is the club captain, so probably need to play him and probably need to play Humphreys, who is a very, very good player, highly valued, and probably the best wing back that we have. Corrado has been playing particularly well. Silva, I think, should come down here. And Winkler up top. And I agree that Velasco is probably the best option as the DLF, but Corrado has been playing particularly well, so I'm going to stay with Corrado, to be fair. And on the bench, Caceres, Timon, Boy, Rualt can come onto the bench somewhere. Probably for Arribas, Carcares, Timon, Badgetich, Scott. And I think we moved Mastantueno out. Arribas will need to come in somewhere for Chieta, because he will cover the left wing. And I think that's it. We're good to go in the next one. Newcastle await. We've got to start winning again. I'm hoping that FM has done my little bad spell now and is going to help us to start winning again. We do need to have a positive reaction, although a draw against Man United is a pretty good result. Top of the league. We are not supposed to be doing this well, so we'll take a top 4 at the end of the day. Expectations for a win. Newcastle are no mugs. These fans are relentless. I think we'll go with the team that we had originally selected. That forward line is a good forward line, but it should be doing better than it has been lately. When you start missing chances and you know things are not right, Missouri, I think we'll leave it at that. And we'll go with that. We'll see if this is the team to get us back into winning ways. I do have a frog in my throat. I've had it since Friday. So bear with me, my throat's really dry as well. I think we need to show everyone we haven't had any recent praise of late, so it's important to make the use of our home advantage. And we didn't do too well against Newcastle last time out, so let's hope that we have a better performance here today. I just want to check how I've got these lined up at the moment. Yeah, we are going for it. It's how this team has recovered. We were in the doldrums, we went attacking in this way, and this team has recovered. We're in second place now. So let's hope we can continue. We need a good result today, though. It's a pretty useful Newcastle lineup, though, still. Even in, what year are we in now? 2029. Isak is still going in 2029. But I'm not sure in real life he'll still be going for Newcastle in 2029. Or we're in the 30s now. Actually, Isak must be getting on. Because we are in the 30s now, and we do get caught on the break quite a lot. This will probably be a goal, if not very close. Not the best start, but it is pleasing when the opposition have a highlight in key highlights and they don't score. Gluck in FM is a very good player, so we need to keep an eye on him. But there again, you can see our shots are off target. So this is an indication that something is not right at the moment. And it might be I've got to just completely drop that forward line. Because none of them are performing very well at all. And of course it could be the game is saying that all the AI managers have learned how we play now. I'm not buying into that one, but because we will turn this bad form around at some point. So if they had learned how we play, then why will we escape from our bad form at some point? Van Beek, what's he doing there? Goes for a shot. We are in front. I'd say against the run of play. Wicked deflection. I'm not sure that we deserve to be ahead, but we'll take it anyway. Not quite sure what Van Beek was doing all the way up there. But happy that he was. João Gomez needs to come off the tacos, I think. It's a bit early for him to be on a yellow card. What did you make of the FM trailer? And I know everybody's been jumping up and down, Neil. Oh, it's 2-0. Winkler's got another one. I'm not quite sure what that Newcastle player was doing. But what did I think of the FM trailer? I'm not even sure you could call it a trailer. And I know lots of people are jumping up and down with excitement. And, ooh, look at that. There's real grass in there. And I'm not... See what that Newcastle defender was doing. I'm not quite sure. But was it anything? Was that perhaps that 9 seconds or 10 seconds that we saw? Was it like how the match is going to introduce itself each time they come out on the field? Who knows? They didn't tell us anything really about it. I did look around looking for clues. There's a lot of EA Sports in there. It might be that they've borrowed some graphics from them. I don't know. We haven't been told anything, just that it's coming. But then I think back to a year ago, and we were told with a trailer a year ago, here it comes, and then it never did. So I guess I'm more skeptical than those jumping up and down. I think I need a little bit more, Neil, than they've given us to of course, optimistic that FM26 is coming out. Of course I am. But is it enough for me to be running around the room, jumping up and down, saying, wow, look at that. Is that a sign of what's about to come? Because I don't know what's about to become. It's... I don't know. I understand people's excitement. We haven't had a game for 2 years. And people are beginning to get a little bit fed up of FM24. And I'm part of those who are getting a little bit fed up of FM24. But I don't know yet. I need to see more, I guess, is the answer to that. I want to see more. And then I might start getting excited about it. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What did you think, Neil? Match day build-up that looked nice. I mean, there's a lot of I thinks, I hope, I wish. I've got a wish list as long as my arm. But I think that over the months, I've kind of got a little bit tired of just saying this. I'd love to see this. I'd love to see that. It's kind of repetitive. I'm at the point now where let's just wait and see what we're going to get. I just hope that we're not going to get a match engine full of glitches, and we're not going to get a game that looks pretty but is meaningless, which is my biggest worry. And I do, like I said, I've got a wish list as long as my arm. It's not going to be answered. So yeah, there are a lot of people out there saying, I think, I believe, I hope, and jumping up and down while doing it. I just think I'd prefer to wait and see, is my answer. Oh, nice pass. Go on, Winkler. That's what you can do. 3-0 now. I think it's game over. And there we go. We've come out of our bad run. So the AI hasn't learnt how we play. Otherwise, Newcastle would have exploited it as well. So we've come out of our bad run by the look of it. And it is about time these forwards started playing. Is it time to make some changes, I wonder? I have a funny feeling, Neil, that you're right, that it's probably built on the same type of match engine that we're experiencing now. That the graphics on the field might be a little bit nicer to look at, but at the end of the day, is it graphics what's really wanted? I don't know. Are the shiny graphics going to sway it for me if the match engine stays the same? I probably don't think so. Like I said, I've got a wish list as long as my arm. The score generator that they're using for the results week in, week out needs a big upgrade, in my opinion. Although when I look at the Premier League, how difficult it is to predict results, and nobody could have predicted Sunderland beating West Ham 3-0. If anybody did, well done to you. But I certainly couldn't have predicted it. Newerton, probably. Let's just make sure that we're okay on the flanks. Better animations. Animations, what, like for the pre-game? Because that's what we've seen up to this point. Even if that is it just might be they've pinched that from somewhere, and that it does say that actual footage may not be included in the game on that video. So is that just like, well, just we have to use something to announce that the game's coming? We haven't really got anything we can use ourselves, so let's just show this. Is that actually the pre-match introduction? And after I've seen that 100 times, he's offside. After I've seen that 100 times, will I still be excited about seeing that every game? Because I don't know. Do you still have the pre-match introduction going on? I've certainly clicked it off a long time ago. So if that's what they've improved, is that really an upgrade to the game? Like I said, I need to see more. There've been leaks, but can we trust the source of that leak? I don't know. There've been leaks that player roles are changing, that there's no more Mazzala. Rumours, speculation, that's what we've been living off for a year. And I think in every one of the update videos that I've tried to portray, that is what we are living on. Speculation. And nothing's written in stone, and what we get is what we get. We have to wait and see. And they have said that the new in-game will be coming out very soon. I will certainly look at that in detail, and I hope it's a bit more of a trailer than 9 seconds, 9 or 10 seconds. I'll look at that in detail, and then we'll kind of make an assessment from there. Oh, was that the? Oh, that was the cup, was it? Oh, we always win in the cup. I don't even know why I was worried. We always win in the cups. Yeah, Newcastle now want silver after he had a good game against them. So let's do what we do. Barco, though, doesn't need to rest. Although probably does. He probably does. Just in case. I haven't looked at the schedule, you see. So I'm not quite sure whether he'll be able to play, but yeah, we'll rest him anyway. They all can have a rest. I always click off, but I watch it more if it looks better. Apparently stadium improvements will be visible as well. I mean, I hope they're right. I hope what we're seeing is right. Again, though, like, if everything else is the same, Neil, like, think about it. Is it going to be worth the upgrade for you if you've got these absolutely fabulous looking stadiums, but if game is not functioning properly, the match engine is the same, you've got a few better graphics in game, but it's a bit glitchy. But hey, we've got the greatest looking stadiums. It's really about what people want. I've been playing Football Manager for coming on 16 years now, and when I think back to how much I enjoyed the game at the beginning, and there was nothing fancy about it. It was a database game. It was called a spreadsheet game, and people loved the game because of the way it was set up, because of the data and the stats and how that worked. I'm going to have a look at the quarterfinal draw. I like when it gets to the quarterfinals. Who are we going to get out of this lot? Who are we going to get out of that lot? Arsenal are first out. Arsenal, Liverpool, that's a big game. Bournemouth, Sunderland, West Ham, Wolves. Wolves would be okay. Sunderland would be good. West Ham will be okay. We've kind of put West Ham's dominance out of sight now, but I'd prefer Sunderland. Oh, it is Ipswich, because we are not so good at West Ham. And Manchester United and Sunderland. Interesting. Well, we might be in another semi-final. I wouldn't bet against this Ipswich team in a cup match. That's for sure. That's absolutely one thing for sure. We are a good team in cups. Already got to the Caribou Cup semi-final, which I thought we were like so unlucky, if you can say unlucky. We were so FM'd out of that in the semi-finals. But it is what it is. I nearly clicked on criticise his training, but he's got 7.05. So the worst training performance was above 7. Can't argue with that. Yeah, I can't, though, go back to FM24. As a creator, it's just not possible to go back to FM24. It is what it is, and we get what we get. I'm pretty sure they're not going to release a game that is a poor game. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to do it. It didn't come out in 25 because they didn't believe that it was good enough to come out. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that again. I'm just looking at this. This is oh no, not the team at the bottom. Our record is getting worse and worse against teams at the bottom. We just got to pray. This is going to be one of the rare occasions that we beat teams at the bottom. And then we have to, after this, go on and play Genk. It's the last 16 of the Europa League. I do want to mix this up a little bit. I'm just going to use his suggested team. And then I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Gomez and Scott. No. Bajcetic is going to come in and have a game here. Who's he? Never heard of him. And Kieta is going to have a game. Timon and Missouri. Carcaret. Oi. Missouri. Carcares can come on the bench. Rest Humphreys. Mane and Rualt, that's okay. Arribas can play on the left wing. Utara, Corrado, yep, I'm perfectly happy with that. Bench. Barco. Scott. João Gomez. Diamonde, in fact, for Gomez. No, Diamonde is always the one who complains that he's too tired. And then up front, it's going to be Velasco, Silva, and Winkler. Short of, just in case we need to bring the big guns on. I think I'm going to play Nivas as well in goal, just to give him a game. Rotated team for the bottom of the league team. Oh, looks like I have an internet connection problem. I don't think it is a problem my end. I think it's a problem YouTube end. I do apologize. Since I gave up monetization, this kind of stuff happens a lot. So I don't think it is my end. So let's go and beat Crystal Palace. Expectations a win. Yeah, of course you would expect that. And ordinarily I would expect it, but it's the bottom of the league team. And this is FM, so I don't expect it. Thuram, I wish I could sign him. I wish I could sign him. But I don't have that kind of cash. I have to find players like this boy. And Silva. Oh, we are playing before United. He wants to play at a higher tempo. I'm not quite sure how much higher tempo I can play at, but there we go. I'm happy with that team. That means we're resting players resting players for the Europa League. In this list in here, what I'd really like to see with when you play a rotated team, what I'd really like to see is one of these things that go out there and play yourself into the first team. That's what I'd really like to see in this list when you're playing a rotated team like this. But I'm going to go with our home form. And we'll just go with that. Let's go and please, for once, beat a team in 20th position. Doesn't look too hopeful. I'm not sure if you guys are receiving error, experiencing lag, any kind of problems with what you're seeing. I am getting an error message. I'm not sure if that's correct for you guys. I do know since I gave up monetization, YouTube doesn't treat me very seriously anymore. Mane is already on a yellow very early. Oh, lovely pass. Go on, Aston Twaino. Just give me some idea of some of your early season form. That'll do. Otara. We are ahead. Although I don't know if it'll last. Something like what you were seeing there, you were talking about better graphics. That tackle, we were tackled. The man on the ball was tackled, but nothing really happened except we retained possession. So I'd like to see that sharpened up a little bit. There are lots of things in the graphics that I want to see sharpened up a lot, but tackling is one of them. The amount of times that I hit the crossbar, which I keep talking about, is another one. I don't think that any team in the Premier League would hit the crossbar as much as we do. It just would not happen. Well, it does seem sometimes you make the right decision to rotate, sometimes you make the wrong decision. At the moment, it's okay. Although we are always vulnerable to this. And we have been done again. Oh. This is why playing this way we have to score goals. Not one goal, score goals. And that's really funny. The game listens to you. I swear to God, the game listens to you, because I just said because we've rotated, it's looking good. I do how does the game know what you're saying and thinking? I've still got this error message, guys, and the reason that I might not be getting any messages about it in the chat is you're not seeing anything. So I might actually be playing on my own, which might be kind of interesting. I have no idea what you're experiencing out there, and if I don't get anybody tell me in the next 5 minutes, I just might switch off. Because I am getting an error message. Ah, right. Okay. Thanks, Neil. I don't know, it says to me open widget here, but if I go and open that widget, goodness knows what might happen. Ah, we're back. It's got now excellent connection. Just our shooting has not been good enough. I'm not quite sure if that is the problem, but they seem to agree with me. I can't blame the players, it's the match engine, because we are playing against the team bottom of the league, so I really can't be angry with the players. It's not their fault. We are playing the team in 20th in the league, and we do not beat teams who are 20th in the league. We never have been able to, and I don't see why today should be any different. Creative Foss, how are you doing, my friend? So yeah, we are not going to beat these again, I don't think. In fact, the way it's looking now, I suspect a defeat. Unless we can take the ball off them here. Which we've done. Come on, move it on. Quicker, quicker. Too many touches. Oh, well done, Aribas. I was wrong. The reason I got that wrong, I was looking at this 7 shots and only 1 on target, but it's now 8 and 2. And that makes it just about bearable, 25%. I think it's time to... Well, not yet, maybe. I'd like a 3rd goal, boys, if you wouldn't mind. Go on, Atara. And that's another one. What happened there? Kieta. Header, I think, was it? That's the one I wanted. Stankovic is in goal for Palace. Corrado was a good spot by me. He is a very, very good player. He's going to, next 2 seasons, he's going to be a very good player. Yeah, you take that with a pinch of salt. I mean, I'm going to be interested to watch the Man United fans' reaction. I always do watch their reaction videos. Oh, God. 3-2 now. We're still not over. Yeah, and I think you're right. It was a bummer we didn't win. I think we deserved a draw. It was a goalkeeping error as well. Goalkeepers of United being in the news, of course, that cost us the game. Without that, Arsenal didn't really have any attacking threat. That's my fault, because I had 2 attacking Arsenal players in my FPL lineup. So that's entirely down to me. So with Arsenal not really having any attacking threat apart from set pieces, it was very strange, to be honest. Is Missouri fit? Yeah, we can run Missouri into the ground and put Kakares on there. Save Barco. Nivas didn't cover himself in glory. The others are playing okay then. I think we're just going to let them get a little bit more tired. I need to win this one though. What's happening around the grounds? Nothing, because we're playing on our own. I'm not quite sure why we're 1 point behind United. We were 3 points behind them. Are we only getting 2 points for this? Maybe we're playing under the old system. Oh, we have an injury. So let's bring Silva on. Missouri was bound to get tired now, wasn't he? Silly game. But I always had a left back on the bench. You should have known that, FM. And Maston Twaino. One more midfield, probably. Alex Scott. I just made changes. What, this game? I just made those changes. Now I've got to make them again, have I? I think that's what I did. I saw that Utara had an injury, so I went to sub him and subbed him off. And the next thing, he's actually injured on the field when he'd been subbed off. And then it erased all my other substitutions. But Winkler, you don't give him that space. Hey Maverick, how you doing? Yeah, Foss, I do believe that United played well. It's is it the same old United though? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Everybody's got to remember that it was Arsenal we were playing against, and they are probably the toughest defence in the Prem. Some of the chances we had, we should have taken. I mean, there was some horrible shooting, to be honest. Ugarte at the end. But, I mean, what he brought him on for, I don't know. He was wasteful. He was breaking up the play. He was not a good substitution. Managers don't always get it right. He got it horribly wrong, bringing Ugarte on. And wasteful in shooting from 40 yards. Some of the play lacked composure. Some of it was just unlucky. But we do have to remember that when did we get 4-2? Oh, Winkler scored. We do have to remember Arsenal are the best defence in the Premier League. So a goalkeeping error cost us, where Raya had a particularly good game. So one goalkeeper has a great game, the other doesn't. I guess there's the difference. Saka was kept very, very quiet. It was a very physical game. I didn't think it was a game for technical players, which is why Fernandes struggled to really impose himself in that game. It was a physical game. And that's how it proved in the end. I think it was just one goalkeeper was better than another on the day. How long's he out for? Only 2 days. So we'll see what happens in their next fixture. As for Arsenal, well, like I said, it's my fault entirely. Oh, I didn't rest them. I think I can still rest them for a day. Although I probably don't need to, but I think it's probably a good idea. Just one or two of them. And we have to I've heard those rumours myself, Foss, about De Gea coming back. Whether it will happen, I don't know. We certainly do need a goalkeeper, but then remember how much we complained about De Gea for 2 seasons, nearly 3 seasons. We complained about him, and then he turned out to be one of the best parts of the team. I was going to say one of the best goalkeepers we had. We had some very, very good goalkeepers before him. I think if Onana can find a little bit of form, confidence, I'm not as negative about Onana as some people are. I think Onana's distribution is dreadful. But we said that about De Gea as well when he first arrived. How are they going to play? This might, wing play. I'm pretty. Europe is a different kettle of fish to the Premier League. Fabian Barthez, yeah, I remember him. Of course, I remember Barthez. I don't know why he keeps doing that. We have very, very good central defenders. And by doing that, he's just leaving the club captain out, which doesn't make any sense to me. And Van Beek is much better in there. And Scott is better in there. I don't have a problem playing Van Beek in there if we're short of central defenders. Badgetic would probably go in there before Van Beek. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, but you got to give those a try. Kieta's out. Newerton's out now. We'll put that back then. So we'll put that one back. It didn't work. Try that one again. He's okay with that. So I do have to take Newerton out. And Kieta. Newerton can go onto the bench with his bad ankle. Hey James, how you doing? Happy with a draw here. Oh, Newcastle, yeah. I wasn't happy with that game because Conser got sent off. It's upset my entire plan for my defence in FPL. But I didn't have the greatest week, so Of course, Conser was going to get sent off. No, not really, although that's good. Let's try it. He probably wants a bit more than that. Okay, slightly positive. That one was the big shock, James, for me. That was a really big shock. I mean, from what I know, I believe that West Ham had chances early on, didn't take them. And that was the reason allowed Sunderland to come into the game. And then that caused the problem. If you don't, I mean, it's like you don't take your chances, then you ain't going to win football matches. And Bowen had so many chances. I can only blame myself for having him in my FPL team. And I do apologise to any West Ham fans. It's all my fault. Yeah, I want you to leave your mark here. I don't want to have to win it in the second leg. We are away, so I'll take a small defeat. The Championship teams, they're not far off Premier League. To be fair to the Championship, it's not far off Premier League. And it is a very physical league. I think that they get away with a lot more in terms of tackling than players do in the Prem. It's a much more physical league. What I noticed about the games this weekend in the Prem was that they were all a lot more physical. Oh, here we go. Woodwork again. So, like I was talking about Arsenal today, like Saka couldn't get into the game. Odegaard really struggled to get in the game. Even like Bruno Fernandes struggled to be creative, struggled to get space for himself. And that was because tackles were flying in. There's a lot of fouls in it. It was a lot more physical. And nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So I guess Championship teams, if it's going to be like that, will be in with a shout this season. I have noticed that this weekend that all the games are a lot more physical. A lot more physical. I mean, last season you only had to like breathe on someone and that was a foul. This season, like, it seems the referees are just ignoring people who just fall down now, which is good news. Go on, Silver. Oh, I'd expect you to put that away. But we've outplayed them so far. Certainly Newcastle will need somebody up front. Anthony Gordon, as good a player as people might think he is not a striker. And unfortunately, Newcastle should have won that game. And had they had somebody who could take chances, they would have won that game. Aston Villa did not look good at all. And I do blame myself for Villa's misfortune because I had two Villa players in my team as well. One got sent off and one got blanked. So I blame myself, and I apologise to Aston Villa as well. Um, they just like Villa couldn't pass the ball. They could not pass the ball from midfield to attack. That was what Villa's problem was. They had strikers who could score goals, but they just could not pass the ball to them. And Morgan, Rogers, Tielemans, who was the other one? Kamara. Their passing was absolutely shocking. Schoolboy passing. Oh, 2-0. Goalkeeper error. Corrado. And then, like, Newcastle didn't have a goal scorer, and Gordon was extremely wasteful. And they do need to... I mean, I don't think, even if Isak's not sold now, like, how would you integrate him back into the team after he said, oh, I don't want to play, don't want to train, don't want to play? It would be very difficult to integrate him back into the team. And to be honest, I'm absolutely appalled by Isak. I don't think I think he deserves a season in the reserves. He's earning that kind of money. He's supposed to be a role model. And so what is he telling people? I don't want to play, and therefore I'm not going to play. I'm still going to take my salary, though. So his behaviour, for me, is intolerable. And how can you integrate him back into the team? His teammates must feel extremely let down. And it's not the way to go about it. It's definitely not. Like, if you look at, take a different example, Eze, who played today, is probably not going to be a Crystal Palace player for much longer. But he played out there, and he gave his heart and soul, and he scored an absolute blinder of a goal, only for it to be disallowed. Quite rightly so, in my opinion, given that the rule has changed. And he played, and he played, and he played, and he's not saying, oh, if I can't move, I'm going to be down in my tools and all this nonsense and demanding things. He's just getting out there, playing football, and he's put himself in the shop window. Now, if Tottenham want him, they're going to have to make an offer for him and go through it like that. And that's the way to do it, not the way that Isak has gone about it. And the other thing you've got to think about it is from a Liverpool perspective. Because do Liverpool want him now? Do Liverpool want a player who's going to behave like that if things are not going right for him? I doubt it. So I think we might see Liverpool, especially as Ekitike looks like he's fitting in there very nicely, and anybody could score goals in that Liverpool front four. Why would they want to bring in a spoilt child like Isak for a ridiculously huge amount of money when they already have a decent player who's got off to a good start, who's not an ego? So he might not only have messed it up from a Newcastle point of view, he might have messed it up from a Liverpool point of view. And anybody else who might be thinking, do we want to bring him in? Throwing your toys out of the pram is not the answer. Wissa is probably leaving, yeah. But then they prepared for it. They had Thiago, and Brentford knew it was going to happen. That's what we want. Who was that? Scott again. So I think Vissa will go. They've got Tiago there. It's probably not enough. They're going to need some backup for Tiago. Tiago, we know, is going to be on penalties. He doesn't look bad. He's confident. He's been there a season. But again, another one. Vissa's done it the right way. Goalkeeper's having a nightmare for them. But I don't mind. Let's play Rualt here. And Badgetic in here. Barco is struggling. Timon. Why is Van Beek on the wing? Pretty sure I didn't want that to happen. That'll do. If he doesn't, he won't go to the World Cup, and he'll get the biggest fine in the club's history. I absolutely deserved. Hopefully a year in the reserves. He's a role model, and he's got to know that role models don't behave in that way and shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. And if I was one of his teammates, I wouldn't want him back in the squad. Eze will leave with the backing of the Palace fans because he's done it the right way. Gone out there, put himself in the shop window. Looks good in the shop window. It will force Spurs into making a deal for him now. Palace fans won't be angry with him because he gave everything today. And that is the right way to do it. And this is the right way to beat Genk in the Europa League round of 16. First leg. But like I've said before, we don't get to semi-finals of cups. Something is wrong. Even Rualt is scoring from right back now. Something's very wrong if we don't get to the semi-finals, at least. Oh, he might have to be my new right back. But it certainly was an interesting couple of days for the Premier League. Very interesting. Lots to review, to look back on. And still a game to go tomorrow night. I didn't think they'd start with Sesko, to be honest. Let's give them more of the same. Just say a win and a good performance. I didn't actually think that Sesko would start. I thought that was probably the right call. And the reason I think he made that call was Mount has been very impressive in pre-season. And he didn't look too bad, Mount, playing out there today, to be fair. But Sesko, we've got to remember that Sesko is still young. He's a young kid, again, like Hoyland. And do we just want to shove him in game after game after game now and ruin him as well? I think he's got to be brought in slowly. So I go along with Amarin on that one. We don't have any Premier League games, do we? We've just got to play this lot again. Did you think, James, that United would start with him? I didn't. The problem that United had early on was that they were playing with 4 number 10s. Funnily enough, you had Mount, you had Cunha, you had Mbuemo, and you had Fernandes. You had 4 number 10s. And if you watch back the game, when United created chances, there was nobody in the penalty area because all 4 were playing like number 10s, picking the ball up from deep and running at the defence. So when somebody like Dalot or Dorgu got behind the defence and crossed, there was nobody in the box because that wasn't their job. That's not how they know how to play. So at those times, we needed somebody who was a centre-forward who was just going to be in the box. And we didn't have anybody there to do it. As the game wore on, United started throwing players forward and started throwing players forward from midfield as well and looked more dangerous. And I think United could have won if they had gone out with the same mentality as they went out, as they played with later in the game. They had a defensive mentality in the first half. In the second half, we could have won it because their mentality changed. They started throwing players forward and we almost sneaked it. At the end, we had like 6-7 players in the Arsenal box, but it just would not go in. So I think United have got to look at, do we want someone like Cunha? If he's going to play up top, he has to play up top. He has to be a centre forward. They've also got to alter the mentality at which they're playing. Man United played with a very defensive mentality in the first half. Nobody was going forward. Nobody was taking risks. And in order to win games, United are going to have to start taking risks to get 5-6 people in the penalty area, because otherwise they're just not going to be able to break defences down. That's the way I read it. Of course, I might be completely wrong, because as we know, I've totally misjudged this whole 7-0. 4 for Nicholas Jackson. It is kind of telling me that the league is going to United yet again. Although you never know, we might come into our own. I mean, he did get a debut, and when he came on, he didn't play that bad. He wasn't that bad. But like everybody else had experienced in that game, it was very difficult for anybody to find space, for anybody to be creative. Saka couldn't do it. Odegaard couldn't do it. Martinelli was taken off shortly after half-time because every time he was on the ball, he was crowded out. He lost the ball. It was just impossible for the creative players to get in the game. And so for a young lad coming on, I didn't expect him to have tons of space either. It would have been actually better if we'd had Ekitike type of player coming on. He just took to it, and he's more like a deep lying forward who can just fly forward. He will come deep, he drops deep, he goes everywhere. Is he? Of course he is. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to next week to see if referees are quite as lenient. I just thought that United's problem was that they were so defensive in their attitude. They did not want to give anything to Arsenal. He's still doing that. The rest of his team is fine. But I don't want Van Beek playing there. I'm actually going to give Atom a game. With Rualt. We don't need to play Zaribas. We know that we don't want to do this nonsense. Where is... He's got Newerton in that. I don't want to do that either. I'm going to put Scott out there for a change. Newerton can rest. He's just been injured. Silver can come onto the bench. I wonder if that would work better. Might, but let's just try it that way. I don't know why Ipswich would be gripped. We're 5-0 ahead. Like, if we don't win this now, I resign. Yep, we need to be focused. And that's what I need to tell them in the team talk. You need to be focused. Okay, so same thing. Push higher up is not possible. So push higher up. How much higher can I go? I'll be in outer space. Utara. He should be okay. He's a big, strong boy. He should be okay. Yeah, I watched the Newcastle Villa game, James. Matty Cash, I think it was like by the end of it. I thought Matty Cash played well. I thought Matty Cash and Mings had good games. Newcastle, when we're all over them, once Villa went down to 10 men. Yeah, we need to say that. That ties in with what my assistant said in the press conference. So I was quite impressed with the Villa defenders, Mings and Matty Cash. I thought both of those had good games. Newcastle should have won it. In fact, the Newcastle didn't win it because they didn't have a striker. And as much as I like Gordon, he is not a centre forward. And that's why they didn't win it. But we should be winning this comfortably, boys. Come on. And then we have West Ham. There's so many cup games and we're not playing any Premier League games at the moment. It's just cup. Barco. Playing him on the wing this time. Interesting. So now it's 6-0. I think we can relax now. Yeah, I thought Villa defended well, but they shouldn't have won. I think that Newcastle's shooting was at times extremely wasteful. Gordon missed so many good chances early on. And then when they went down to 10 men, they should have just they should have won 2-0 maybe. Oh, Barco's got another one. Maybe he is going to be a left winger after all. But it's only week 1. There's a long way to go in the Premier League yet. Thankfully, it's only week 1 of the FPL. Am I going to make any changes to the team that I picked? Only one. I have to. I've been forced into it because Conser's not going to be playing for the next 2 Premier League games, I believe. One of his suspensions will be Carabao Cup. But he's going to miss 2 games. I need a Villa defence. My planning was based around I need a Villa defender in the game every week. Because now my rotation policy in defence does not work at all. So I've had to use my transfer. I just swapped Conser for Mings. And the second reason I've done that is that he's owned by almost 28% of the players. Once they realise he's not going to be available for 2 games, everybody will get rid of him. His price will come down. And then I'll have to make 2 transfers to swap him in for Mings, to swap Mings in for him. So I've just done that already before his price comes down. I think it's a fair enough red card. Yeah, like what was going to happen if he didn't do it? Gordon would have gone on and scored. There's nothing else you can say about it. It was unfortunate that somebody couldn't get around him, so that there was some doubt as to whether it was a clear goal scoring opportunity. But Gordon would have been 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and you've got to assume he would have scored. It was a red card. There's nothing more to say. So he's messed up my FPL completely. I was not planning to use a transfer. If any other player had got sent off, it would have not messed up my plan for the first five weeks. Because it was Conser, my entire plan was messed up. I have to have a Villa player on playing game after game for the first 5 game weeks. Otherwise, it doesn't rotate very well. But am I planning to change anything? No. It's only game week 1. Are you telling me that the 7 players I've got who blanked are going to blank in every game for 5 weeks? Ain't going to happen. It's just my normal game week 1 misfortunes. It's compounded by the fact that Salah scored in the 95th minute, and compounded by the fact that Verbruggen decided to concede in the 97th minute. But it is what it is. Football is what it is. I haven't had... Chris Wood was in the very first draft that I had. I just thought with Forest in Europe that he might lose some of his minutes. And I felt, as I'm not going with Haaland or Salah, I felt that I can bring in any forwards that I want. I was leaning towards Mateta in the end rather than Chris Wood. So fair play to those who stuck with Chris Wood. But for me, he hadn't been a consideration since I did my very first draft. I also thought he's knocking on a bit now. But fair play to Nottingham Forest. Penalty, ref? Yeah, Rob Tab, this is this FPL takes place over 38 game weeks, not 1. Well, no penalty. We don't get many of them outside the box. And I think that I'm going to stick with my plan. I've got, at the moment, I'm on 49 points. I could get some more. I have Goodmanson playing tomorrow. So I might get another 6 if I'm lucky. Maybe he might get an assist and I might get 9 or 11. So at the moment I'm on 49. It's not the worst thing that could happen in the world. 49 is the average points as far as I'm aware. So it could have been worse. Luckily, I decided to put Reindeers in my team. He's kind of saved me. But he is a rotation risk as well, Reinders. Timon, not necessary. Rualt, Atom, not necessary. Budgeted. João Gomez is. So, a DM. Let's play Corrado in there. Left winger, Arribas. Up front. Don't need to change anyone up front. So Rualt, he's having a very nice game, Rualt. We're not going to take him off. I actually don't need to rest anybody else, so we'll just see who gets tired first. 9-0 on aggregate, satisfactory result. As I recall, we do this, don't we, in Europe? In the last 16, I think we had an 11-0 victory once in the last 16. We do tend to do this in the Cups. That was wild, Bajcetic. Haven't yet coached in your Premier League match. How was it? What Premier League match, James? Hi, David. Hope you are well, my friend. So 9-0 it's going to be then. That's good enough. Timon and Bajcetic maybe. They haven't really done a lot of running around, have they? Tom Evans, whoever he is. It's an interesting comment, David. I thought United were better than they were certainly in last season and in pre-season. I thought there was a bit more passion about the way they played. I thought it was a good overall performance, but I thought we were way too defensive in our mentality in the first half. And that was the problem. Not enough players going forward. And in fact, we only threw players forward in the last 15 minutes. There were several times during the first 60 minutes where we just didn't get enough players into the box. I mean, there was one cross that Barco made, or was it Dallo, that one? There was one cross that went into the box and absolutely no one was in the box. And it was a pretty good cross. So I think we need to adopt a much more positive mentality, not just sit back and counterattack with long direct balls, but to have a more attacking philosophy about our game. Yeah, and it will mean taking risks, but I can understand what Amarin is doing. He doesn't want to take risks with the players we have at the back. But I thought it was a good performance. The difference between the two sides was that one goalkeeper played well and one goalkeeper made a dreadful error. That was the difference between the two teams, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. The test will come when they have to play teams like Palace and Brentford and those types of teams, Fulham's, or like even like Southampton United struggled against. And I think that in some of those games the passion was missing. That they had so many egos on the pitch, they just felt like all we have to do is turn up and we'll win. Well, that's not the case in the Premier League. You've got to do the work. Hopefully, the 3 signings that they've made will be a little bit hard-working than some of the players that we've had previously. But who knows? Certainly, it was a good, hard-working performance out there today. I think we can safely say that. I didn't think anybody did that badly. I mean, I'd include the goalkeeper. He just made one dreadful error. At the other end of the pitch, Raya was faultless and made 2 very good saves. So That's the difference at the end of the day. So Diomande and Mane can come back in. Agreed. Now he wants to play Van Beek as a left back. He's mad. Is Barco suspended, is he? Well, that's okay. Because we can sort that out. Newerton can come back in on the left. Timon can stay there. And Missouri can come in here. So Missouri can come in there. Diomande and Mane can come back in defence. Van Beek can come in there. João Gomez, yep. And then we have the big guns. Velasco, Winkler, and Silva. That's how you do that. And then we only need 9. So now we need Carcares, I need a left back, don't I? Carcares can play left back. Atub could play left back. Where are my right backs? Missouri. Where are my right backs gone? So I've got 3 right backs. Who's the other one? Missouri, Carcares, Humphreys. So Humphreys can come up here. Rualt. Bajcetic can stay on the bench with Alex Scott. Arribas is right. Utara is right. And Mastantuono. Although I'd like to have Corrado up there. So let's put Corrado on the bench. Maguire is 32 now, is he? Oh, blimey. Where's... Just can't see something from Jamie Burton. Interesting. I mean, the problem Maguire's got, in my opinion, is his lack of pace. You can't play with a high line with Maguire in that back line. So I think that's the problem that he's got. It's just his lack of pace. Arsenal beat Liverpool. Oh, we are the holders of the FA Cup. I forgot about that. People have asked me about doing a retro a lot. It's not somewhere I really want to go, to be honest. I'm actually, what I prefer to do with FM, and I get more fun out of FM, is to go ahead 15 years into the future. Oh, blimey, United won again, did they? Yeah, we are falling behind now. I really love going ahead in the future when all the players are gone. Players that we know, they're all gone. and then it's like almost starting like with a fresh group of players. And I've no idea who's in the opposition teams. I've no idea who's in mine. And I kind of like that. I did a Ferguson save with Norwich. Going back to 22, was it? Or did I do that last year? That was really fun because I went ahead 10 years into the future. And it was called the Wilden save in the end. Because of this player called Wilden, a striker for Norwich, became very famous, became like over the years we were at Norwich, he was like scoring 30-40 goals a season. It was a lot of fun. So I prefer to go into the future rather than to go back in time. So we really need to win this now if United have won again. We need to beat West Ham again. Although I think this is the cup again, isn't it? So United are just like out of both cups, I guess, and are playing all their league games. But we're in the cup again. I actually don't mind going out of the FA Cup at this point. I'm getting tired of playing all these cup games. The Europa League is what I want. Even more than the Prem. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just more going into the future is more fun for me, Jamie, rather than looking backwards. And it is a lot of fun to go 10 or 15 years in the future and play a save. I had a lot of fun doing it. Oh, Winkler, you should have scored. I think you need some originality back. Yeah, absolutely agree with you, Spike. But I'm not going to change until the end of this season. And then probably we'll go and create another tactic. I just got fed up of the game doing what it felt like it, and I just thought, let's go attacking. Somebody had said, this tactic never fails. And they're probably right. Who's that? Are you like Phil and a journeyman, or do you stay at one club? I don't think that's a question for me, David. Oh, it's a question for James. Both are good. I've done journeymans. I've done one club saves. Both are good. Journeyman is quite good fun. The journeyman we did this year was really cool. This year, last year it was now. So let's have a look at this. Well, so far this is not going too well, and especially as we are very good in the cups. Journeymans are a lot of fun. I mean, we started in Indonesia, went to Japan, then South Africa, then to Brazil, and finished up in Newcastle. Journeyman was great this year or last year. But then other one club saves I've done, not particularly this one. I've done other one club saves that have been enthralling as well. West Ham might win this unless I type Mark Kudos. Just close him down as well. Come on, boys. Need to make some subs. Again, we've been the better team. We're just not scoring again for some reason. Maybe personnel. Winkler might be tired. Right. Changes. Let's put Valesco up top. Corrado can come in here. Newerton is not playing very well. And neither is João Gomez. Leave it like that for now. Until 2038. That sounds about right, David. 2038's quite accurate, actually, I would say. Go on, Aribas, you got this. Not like that, we haven't. So is this going to be extra time and penalties now? Are you kidding me? Because it's a quarter-final. I thought we'd got over this West Ham always beating us nonsense. We've beaten them a few times. Thought we'd got over this. Silver's tired now. Is it going to go to a replay? We can't do a replay, surely not. Surely must be extra time. Silver, poor pass, he's tired. Get in! Semi-final, here we come. And it's Silver. I was just thinking he needs to come off for extra time. If there's going to be extra time. What's going on here? Oh, I thought my game had crashed then. We got away with it. Nice work. especially away from home. Nicely done, boys. Another cup semi-final. And then rest. I'm on episode 9. I wouldn't bother, Jamie. It kind of like gets out of control. I wouldn't bother with it. It's kind of like a repeat of the Bournemouth and how did it start out? The Notts County save, where it all falls apart for 2 or 3 seasons. And we're just about getting our acts together now. God, we got another game against Newcastle. We play Newcastle an awful lot. So Newcastle again. What time is it now? We got time to play Newcastle. So where are you working now, Jamie? You're working... Oh, sorry, you're working from home. I misread that. I thought it read working away from home. Sometimes I can. But I try not to jump up and down too much. It's probably not good for my health. But I'm really trying to just take... I think as FM 26 is about to come out, I think that we're going to have less control over it anyway. So I'm kind of taking a more pragmatic view of the game now. And just the game does what the game does. Come on. Wolves, so we'll take Wolves in the semi-final. We're not going to be getting Wolves. We're going to be getting... Oh, we're getting Man United again. I can't see Sunderland or West Brom beating Man United. So we're getting Man United again. But you've got to beat one of these big teams to get to the final, or even in the final. Moving to London at the end of this month. Big move, that. Different way of life. So I agree Humphreys should come in. Barco should come in. I think we don't really need to change much else. I'm just wondering if I should play Corrado. I'm going to give Corrado a game. I trust that boy. A game we must win or the Premier League title is gone. Missouri's out. So Kakara's back on the bench. If we don't win this, United already who are stretching away. How far ahead of us are they? They're now 7 points ahead, but we've got 2 games in hand. Lose this one, I don't think we're going to stay in touch. So we really need to win this. We need some big games out there today. Even my assistant doesn't know what to say here. Let's raise our game, boys. We have to be better in the Prem than we've been. So let's get out there, raise our game. Let's beat Newcastle. We can do this. Not like that, we can't. It's about as slow as a start as I've ever seen offside, Sam. If that's the start, then kiss goodbye to the Premier League. Awarded? He was miles offside, wasn't he? I thought he was miles. Look at my goalkeeper's positioning. Oh no, it was Mane putting him onside. What a dreadful, dreadful start. Well, it takes the pressure off in the Prem. To be honest, I thought they were going to sell Lewis Miley. So far, we have been dreadful. We deserve to be losing. Just shout at them. But I think it pretty much means the Prem is gone, because we will be... Even if we win our game in hand, we'll be 4 points behind. Yeah, it's gone. So it takes the pressure off at least. I really want to focus on the Europa League. That's the one that I want to win. Not really that bothered about the Prem. We were never going to win the Prem. Top 4 is what we wanted. Newcastle are absolutely smashing us. A lot of players are anxious, very frustrated, anxious. That's because they know they're having a rollicking at half time. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I'm going to change the tactic next year. I'm going to go back to, as Spike said, a little bit of originality. But so we'll see how that affects it. But I don't know what to say to them. I'm absolutely shocked. I mean, it bodes well. Losing games like this means you'll win other games similar. And we weren't going to win the Prem, so now is a good time to lose it. Before it gets too stressful. Diamonde is shocking. make some early subs. Van Beek is knackered. João Gomez, shocking. He shouldn't be playing there, João Gomez. Newton, shocking. And Winkler up top. Let's try that then. 3 shots only, 1 on target. Newcastle have totally obliterated us. And finally, we've got a result that actually matches the best team. Even though it's against me this time, it actually does match the stats. Whereas I'm more used to the stats not matching it. Yeah, for some reason, we've been really playing well, scoring goals, and then for some reason we've forgotten how to do that. Another bad run coming up for a few games. Let's give him another shout. I mean, I've come to realise, David, that pretty much is just this game is about buying players. That's all it's about. And the better the players are you bring in, eventually the better your team will be. And that's all the game is about. It's buy players. And the secret is how fast can you buy them. Problem is sometimes that they take, like Silva and Winkler, if they're young, they've taken 2 years to bed in. And now they're starting to play. So that's all it's about, this game. Just get as many good players as you can in as fast as you can, and you'll win. It doesn't really matter. Formation, I'm pretty certain, my research early on in 24, formation, and I got asked this a lot, formations don't matter. Tactical instructions matter. Formation doesn't matter. Team instructions matter. Because I've actually taken tactics and just transferred instructions over. Oh, no. Well, I was wrong. Sometimes the results don't turn out right, because this is the wrong way round again. We don't deserve a point from this. Good strike though from Scotty. So I think it is just get good players in. For us, we had so many good players. We had players like Scott, who was young, Winkler young, Silva young, Humphreys is young. We've always had young players. And now that we've kept hold of these young players, and they're a couple of years older now, and they've started to play. And I don't think the formation matters. All that matters are the team instructions. You can play in any formation as long as the team instructions are right for the team that you have. Pretty convinced of that, and I've done tests on that. Oh, we got a red card here, have we? Humphreys, red card. Well, it's better than a goal, because it looked like they were going to score a goal. Bajetic can come back here. I think Arribas can play. No, Corrado can come back here. Silva can come back here. Can't play there, but Velasco might be better here. Silva here. And he can play as a winger on support. These boys can go to full-backs on support now. And we'll go defensive. Come off the counter press, regroup. And that's we'll just try and see the game out. We haven't had a red card for a while. It's not enough to keep us in the Premier League chase, but takes the pressure off at least. Because now we'll be 3 points behind if we win our game in hand. So we don't appeal them. Scott's goal was class. But once again, the better team did not win in FM. Okay, so Tottenham, Villa, West Ham. We've got to pick up points around here. Okay, so it's now 10 o'clock. And it's been a long weekend. And so I'm going to go and get some shut-eye. I don't know if Spike is still here. Probably not. Can't see him for a while. Hope he sends us a message through by the end of the night. Otherwise, I'm not getting up early in the morning. So thank you for coming, guys. Do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, give us a like. Does help to motivate me, helps to motivate me keeping going. And very soon we'll be done with FM24. We just got to go through another couple of months of this FM24, and then we'll be into FM26. And then we'll have hopefully lots more things to look at once FM26 comes out. But thank you for keeping going with me, guys. Thank you for supporting me. Means the world to me. And I never thought we'd get this far at all, but we have. And I shall be back, not tomorrow night, because I'm going to watch Leeds and Everton tomorrow night. I'll be back on Tuesday night. And hopefully we're not far away from the end of the season. Probably got another maybe 3 episodes with all the cup games that will go on in here. So I'll be back on Tuesday, 8 o'clock, maybe even earlier. But hopefully around 8 o'clock. And I shall see, hopefully, many of you there. Enjoy the footy tomorrow night. And I hope my FPL will get better next week. I'm going to do a reaction video to that after the game tomorrow. So that'll go up on Wednesday. And just do not panic, boys. If you have in FPL, you've had a bad week, like I have, do not panic. Just trust your selection for a few weeks and then panic later, like I will. But don't panic yet. Okay, see you in the next episode, guys. Take care, be safe, and see you soon.